This video is brought to you by Phelps 3D. Hello, my name's Peter Phelps, and this video is just going to be a really quick introduction to how FFM, FDM printers, 3D printers work. FFM means fused filament fabrication. FDM means filament deposition modeling. Now, the FDM, the reason there's two different names for this is that the Stratasys, the guys who originally invented 3D printing, they have a trademark on FDM, fused deposition modeling. So the FFM was a description that the RepRap community came up with so that they weren't violating Stratasys' trademark. So basically with this, what you're doing is there's a roll of plastic filament, in this case 1.75 millimeter ABS. That is then ran into what's called the hot end and an extruder. Now the extruder part is basically just what pulls the filament into the hot end to be melted. You can think of this as a motorized hot glue gun. So what's happening is the filament comes in, it's hot, heated, it's melted and put down on the plate. Now I've got this set up for 230 degrees Celsius. That is like 2 or 3 times the heat the normal glue gun would use. So you want to be careful about touching anything that's in there while it's going. There's a computer that actually interprets what's called G-code. Basically you do your model in STL, you download that, and then you slice it through like Makerware for this. In this 3D printer is called a CTC 3D printer. It's basically a MakerBot replicator dual clone. There's several different clones of the MakerBots because MakerBot released the original files as open source, so everybody can download them, and they were able to create their own copies. So if I was to say in this type of 3D printer, MakerBot's probably the best because it was the original, but then you would go with FlashForge, Wanhao, and then there's the CTC, and there's several other off-name brands, all based on this structure. Now in this case you can probably tell that I'm only using the one extruder, but that was because of an issue where I bought this used, and the heating elements wires got frayed and they crossed and melted, and I just haven't reassembled everything again after that. That, and plus a lot of people complain about trying to get the two heads perfectly level. So basically with this version of 3D printing, the plastic is laid down in different little layers and then built up to form your object. In this case, because I'm using ABS, you can see there's some darkish, weird looking color stuff on there. That's ABS juice. It's a mix of the ABS with acetone, and the tape that's under that is Kapton tape. The ABS juice allows the filament to really well stick to the bed, and so it won't make a big mess. Now you may be wondering about my whole tub plastic box here, and then I used pieces of it's basically plastic that are from a picture frame It's a big picture frame. I took the plastic out and cut it in half to enclose the box. ABS works better when it's hot. You probably saw the little fan in there. That was my attempt for when I try to print PLA, because PLA likes to be cooled down each layer, but ABS, it wants to stay hot and print within an enclosure to keep the heat in so that it's warmer. It helps reduce delamination where the layers split apart. So basically that's the gist of the fused filament deposition type 3D printers. You'll find that there's like this type, the MakerBot, there's the Ultimakers, there's the Deltas. Deltas use a bit different XYZ. In this instance, your Z is the bed and it moves up and down. The X is your head going left and right, and the Y is the part that's going back and forth depth wise. But in the deltas, the Z is controlled by all three motors and movements, and then your X and Y is controlled by how much those are pitched one way or another. The other types of filament, the very original 3D printing was considered SLA. It's they have liquid resin that is cured using a laser, and then basically the chamber is moved, or the bed is moved in order to build the part. Usually SLA and DLP, the other type is called DLP. It uses a projected, and it flashes it. I'm gonna have to come back to that.